What's up guys, it's MTGMatt back with another Innistrad Crimson Moor video and another deck for you guys. Yesterday we had vampires, today we're going for double zombies. So obviously I had followed the Crimson Vow spoiler season, and somewhere during spoiler season this card here came up called Necroduality, 4 mana enchantment blue. Whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. And I immediately fell in love with this card because first of all, it just seemed like a lot of fun. Just straight up, I like cards that, you know, that they just sound like fun. Like, we're not even talking about competitive, they just sound like fun. So I knew immediately I will want to build a deck with this. And here we are. And I gotta say, the results are amazing. I had a win rate with this deck in Platinum between 60 and 70% consistently. So the results were pretty good. And it is super fun and it's actually quite powerful. So let's take a look at this deck. So as I said, this deck is built around Necroduality. We put this on the board and then every time we play a zombie, right? It just gets doubled. We create a token that's a copy of the creature. Really powerful stuff. And this can get really silly really fast. So let's take a look at our zombie base here. And I spent quite a lot of time figuring out the right mix of zombies for this deck. And I think I found it. And you might also notice, which I will talk about, that there are some zombies missing here on purpose. So let's talk about creatures. First off, 1-drop slot, Cobble Lancer. This is an absolutely amazing card, and I'm convinced this might become some kind of a staple in our format. This is a 1 mana 3/3 zombie horse. For 1 mana you get a 3/3 but as additional cost to cast a spell, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Depending on the game state, this might be totally easy to do, but obviously you can play this on turn 1 because there won't be a creature card in your graveyard. But then later in the game, this is really just a 1 mana 3/3, which is really good if we have Necroduality on board, because then for just 1 mana, we get 2 3/3s, which is amazing. And then even better, when this guy dies and goes to the graveyard, we can exile him for 4 mana and just draw a card. Really cool. Then of course we got 4 copies of Champion of the Perished. This is a no-brainer. Just a 1-drop that can grow absolutely huge, especially again with Necroduality. If you got Necroduality out, you play this, a copy of him is generated, and the Champion of Perished that you had played immediately becomes a 2/2, right? So this becomes really silly because Champion of the Perished only draws when referring to other zombies. It doesn't say non-token zombies, so that's a huge deal. Then we got 4 copies of Shambling Ghast, just a great 1-drop, right? We can sack it to Village Rites to draw cards. Generate treasures. Concerning village rights, by the way, there is an argument to be had whether village rights is better than Deadly Dispute, because Deadly Dispute also gives you a treasure token. I decided to put in village rights here just because it's 1 mana less, and I felt I wanted to be more mana efficient in this deck, but you can decide for yourself and experiment whether Deadly Dispute is better. It might be better. I did try it. I just decided for Village Rites for some card draw. Then we don't have any 2-drops. We just don't. We don't need them really. We have a lot of 1-drops. We have a lot of stuff to do. On top of that, we also have some tapped lands. So sometimes turn 1 we play a champion. Turn 2 we don't really do anything, or we hold our mana for Village Rites or something. So it's actually fine. There's so many 1-drops that like 1 mana spells that we can afford to skip the 2 mana slot. And then at the 3 mana slot we got some real juice going on, and oh my god, these cards are they're so good for a zombie tribe deck. So first off, we got 4 copies of Archegall of Fraven, 3 mana 3/2 zombie cleric. When Archegall of Frame or another zombie you control dies, look at the top card of your library. Another zombie. It doesn't say non-token zombie, okay? Look at the top card of your library. If it's a zombie card, you may read it and put it in your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. Very important, these are all May abilities. So sometimes if a zombie dies, we might see a Necroduality on top and decide to not put it in the graveyard because we actually want it. So that's very nice. And this card becomes so silly with Necroduality because we double it up, which means death triggers are doubled up, obviously. And with this deck you can just go so incredibly wild because Necroduality is such a stupid card. I don't think it's a meme card. I honestly think it's a really good card, right? That with Archschool of Frame you can have just imagine you just play this with Necroduality out, you have 2 of these, and let's say you have 2 other zombies, like 2 Shambling Gas. If your opponent does a board wipe, you get 8 triggers off of this, so you're basically guaranteed to draw at least like 4 new zombies in your hand. It gets so silly really fast. Then we also got Headless Rider, which is equally as silly as Archschool of Frame. While Archschool provides us with card advantage, Headless Rider gives us protection against board wipes, and it's just crazy. So 3 mana for 1. Whenever Headless Rider or another non-token zombie you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Very simple, and most importantly, the way this is worded is it references itself, which means that if you trade a token copy of Headless Rider with Necroduality, if that token dies, it will still trigger and make it to the zombie, because text says when Headless Rider dies, right? It's not saying like anything about non-token referencing itself. So Headless Rider, again, if you double this up with Necroduality, it just gets silly. Just with 2 Headless Riders on the board and the board wipe, you just get 4 zombies, 4 2/2 zombies, right? And those are real zombies, those are not decayed zombies, so they can block, they don't die when they attack. It's just incredible. Lastly, our last zombie is Overcharged Amalgam. Another super silly, super good card, which I'm sure will find a lot of play outside of Zombie Tribe because it's so good. 4 mana 3/3 zombie horror with flash and flying and exploit. And when Overcharged Amalgam exploits a creature, you counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. You can counter anything. It's absolutely crazy. And we are like with Necroduality, we have so much stuff on the board that we very easily find an exploit target if it's nearly necessary, but I don't think this will ever happen with the stack really. You can even exploit, like the Amalgam can even exploit itself, so you can just then use it as a 4 mana counterspell. But usually we have enough stuff lying around on the battlefield to just exploit something, counter your opponent's stuff. Also note, if you play this with a Necroduality out, you get 2 copies with 2 exploit triggers, but exploit is a May, so even if you don't want to sacrifice anything else, you can simply sacrifice the token version of Amalgam to counter the spell. Then, as I said, 4 copies of Necroduality, and on top of that, and this was like a late addition to the deck, but a juicy one, 4 copies of LOL Spider Queen, because I noticed, wow, we were just building these absolutely huge white boards with Necroduality. We have a huge board all the time, we have a lot of card refill, we even have board wipe protection, Headless Rider. We always have creatures on the board. And this is amazing with Lolth because of her static ability. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter on Lolth Spider Queen. So Lolth basically almost always has high loyalty to produce those amazing spiders, and on top of that she can also draw us cards. Seems really good. It's just an easy 4-of in this deck. Finally, when we look at land base, I still get snow-covered lands in here because originally I'd had Faceless Havens in here, but I cut Faceless Havens because I had issues with the mana base. The colorless mana was sometimes really hurting us, and also I figured Faceless Haven was not really needed in this deck, and instead I'd rather have 4 copies of Aghanim's Awakening. Really nice with this deck, we can get our zombies back to the battlefield, and because Necroduality checks zombies entering the battlefield or not casting them, you can then double them up again with Necroduality, so that's real nice. And then also we got 4 copies of Hagra Mauling, simply because you might notice we have 0 removal spells in this deck, and this deck sometimes really has a lot of issues when dealing with big creatures, especially big flyers. because the only real downside of this deck is that flyers just are a pain in the ass. The only way we can deal with flyers is Overcharged Amalgam, Hagra Mauling, and little Spider Queen, but it's not a lot of options. So Hagra Mauling, just an option to destroy a creature for 4 mana on a land, seemed really, really great. And that's the deck. As I said, super fun to play, loved it, quite powerful. So if you look for something to climb with in the early days of Crimson Vow, try this out. Hope you guys enjoy the videos, and I see you guys soon. Alright. I'm gonna try this hand. Wow, Thalia, huh? No attacks. Need Spellboy. And what could our opponent take? Probably Handless Rider, right? Because it's the... yeah, it's the best play next turn, so... that's that. But... we're just too good here. No attacks. This is nice because we get to exploit something here. Monk. Do you want to counter the monk? I don't think so, because I suppose he wants to play something else here. Okay, this is pretty good. So the counter. Counter you, please. And... guess we make a treasure token. Do we keep this? I actually want to keep this for the duality, I guess. Oh no, wait, we had a treasure. Damn. That's fine. It is fine. Really? Okay. Interesting. Wait, no, we keep this because we can... alright, this costs 5 mana. No, we should keep the land. Because now we can play the duality with double Lancer. That's pretty good. And he's probably exiling the duality, but we're gonna get a free too. So that's cool. And we got backup right here. Why would you not exile the non-token guy? That's a good way of going about. Okay, we have some air here basically to play now Necroduality. Might exile one of them, but then we get a free 2, so it pushes our board state. What is he doing here? Yes, I do want trade. That was weird. Okay, let's just go over the top here. And now the fun starts. Still got an Amalgam as backup. If you want to exploit something here, which I think we want to do that, right? Yeah, this is looking pretty good for us. This is so silly. Yeah, GG. Easy game. And we're climbing with the stack. Alright. Actually keeping a starting hand because we're going first, and if we find a cheap creature we can sack it, get a Cobble Lancer down, we have a Necroduality coming up, so... What's this? Ooh, the Simic land. Nice. Hello guys, okay. End that turn. Very nice. Oh, it's so nice. For next 2 years the land bases are gonna be excellent because of these nice dual lands. Oh shit. Double Lancer, okay. Don't think it's good to put down the duality here. It's just too much damage on the board. And this also gives us potentially some card draw. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Nice animation. Exile a card from a graveyard. Sorcery, huh? Let's get rid of this Geist. Otherwise he grows out of control. Cemetery Illuminator. Yes, in the graveyard please. I think now we put down the duality. This fly is really annoying because he constantly exiles cards from a graveyard, but this looks like a really cool deck. Like the Illuminator exiling cards every time he attacks, and you know, I don't know, now he can exile a creature card, and then he can cast spells from his deck that are creatures from a graveyard. I actually think I don't block because next turn is gonna be huge with Headless Rider and Archghoul. And this just gives me more death triggers if I don't trade here. Yeah, lands don't make sense because this says cast and not play. Now we just need to find a way to deal the flyer, and I actually attack here. I mean, that's really good for us. Get like 1,000 triggers. Just don't know how to deal with this Cemetery Illuminator. Nice. This looks like a really nice deck. Okay, let's get rid of this Geist. And actually, I'd rather draw cards than get more tokens because I need to deal with this Geisty boy here. If we find a Lolth, we're pretty much fine. Oh man, this deck. Yeah, we're just looking for a Lolth. No. 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 There we go. Now I can block the Illuminator. Look at this freaking board. I mean... attack, attack, attack. This is pretty good. Under Battler also an excellent card. Just for all future graveyard decks. Mills you, gives you something back when it dies. Really powerful stuff. Man, Illuminator seems also really nice just in a control deck. You can exile instants and, you know, get access to the top of your deck. Seems really good. Oh yes. Just draw a card.
It's bold to bargain with me.
Okay, attack, attack. Attack, attack, attack. Man, these Archwheels of Frame are so good. Turn. Where are you exiling? Pretty impressed by this Cemetery Illuminator. Just a decent flyer, exiles cards and gives you some utility. Seems really good. The opponent seems to be a bit desperate here, I would say. Man, this animation is so sick. And the sound effect. Hell yeah. Okay, so definitely kill the Illuminator. Kill the Geist. And we actually can kill the Hulk, so just jump block it. This is gonna give us a million triggers for Lolth too.
we do. And I, the generous one.
Sick. Can't see. Put it in the graveyard. Gimme. Graveyard. Graveyard. Gimme. This is a -8. I think... Can we have lethal here? Let's just play this champion first. What if I attack with everything? And I think it's a GG. Man, this deck is something. I want exploit here, it's for me. Flying. Easy game. Exactly lethal. Oh man, this deck is something. This isn't the greatest starting hand, but we're going first and we got a Necroduality. It's always a good start. Okay, we got a champion here. We're gonna go Arch School into Necroduality into... We'll see how the board state has developed by then. It's always better to lead with the Arch School for the card draw than with the Rider for the zombies. Okay, Necroduality, here we come. This is gonna be fun in a minute. Not a merchant here. I had hoped for for some kind of cheap zombie. Let's just play another Arch School here. This is still going to grow to a 4/4, so we can actually start swinging. And if opponent decides to somehow block it, to trade with it, we get to use it for 2 cards from the top. Man, Arch School is so good with Necroduality. Okay, so he's trading, I suppose. Let's get rid of the merchant here. Now we can sack something, but then our gem here wouldn't die. He can sack the Shambling cast to finish this off, but then we get to look through 3 cards. Okay. Right. Here comes the loaf.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Actually just completely going to swing in next turn. Ideally we draw land here, because then we're gonna have 5 Archghouls and 2 Riders. What do I like better here? More Archghouls or just stacking up my Lolth? Huh. I think we just go Lolth here.
Ah, you reek with terror. Ah, exquisite.
Should I? I'm just gonna swing in here. Against the Lolth or just go face? I don't know. Maybe playing Lolth here was incorrect. Alright, that's fine. We're gonna draw a ton of cards, plus we're gonna have the Spires left and the champion.
We will slay our enemies. Do a gift.
Yes, please.
In exchange for loyalty.
What's next? Yes, please. Sure, in the bin. We're drawing so many cards. Okay, do I want another Lolth? I guess I put it in the bin actually. Sure, let's put it in the bin. What am I gonna discard here?
I will cull the weak.
I do want to keep these 1-drops. Maybe don't need 3 Headless Riders. Wait, I think I can... Yeah, I can get rid of 1 Shambling Gas, that's fine. Look at our hand, this is so crazy. This is actually insane. So what you gonna do, Mr. Jadras?
Oh, you'll fall into my web again.
Okay, that's fine.
My will cannot
Still
be
got 2 mana
denied.
left. But we actually get to kill Loaf here. Actually I should have played something first, otherwise you can double block the champion. Yeah, that was wrong. Should have just played this champion first. Ah. I mean, look at our head, this is so crazy. I mean, if we're gonna play 2 Headless Riders and make a board that, if he decides to like Blood on the Snow, doesn't matter. Because he's just gonna get blown out by all the zombies. Dude, Headless Rider is really good. Sure, not loaf.
You could have such power.
I mean, Necroduality is just insane. What an insane card. I mean, let's play champion. I don't think this deck runs Shadow's Verdict. I don't think so. Now we play an Archghoul to just hedge us against the board open. I mean, this is just silly. We're also just gonna go face, I don't care. This is so insane. I don't care if he blocks those riders. We just draw more cards, we just get more zombies down. It's absolutely ridiculous. These champions are gonna grow insanely huge. I mean, look at this.
Aren't I generous?
Now the champions are gonna get absolutely huge. Don't need a land, thank you. No thanks. I mean, look at it, we can just put all these lands in the bin and we don't have dead draws. And we got 8/2/2 zombies. Oh boy. Please, Blood on the Snow. This is just insane. I guess I'm gonna cut the Phase of Sames and the Snow Mana in favor of stuff like Agadeem's Awakening. Probably really good in this deck.
Ambitious minds.
GG? I mean, look at this board. Okay, I twitch. Yes! Give it to me. What is he getting back? A loaf? Starboard version. 36 stacks. No thanks. Yes, please. No thanks. Dude, Archcool of Frame is such an insane card. Ha! Yes. Oh man, this deck. Let's keep this. Okay, next turn we have our Necroduality. Necroduality, let's go. Let's attack first. I'm willing to trade here so that there are less potential attackers for our Lolth.
I'll show you what happens when the spiders squash a gift in exchange for loyalty.
No attacks. Interesting. Interesting. Let's draw a card first.
I'll tell you a secret.
Right. Now we build a huge board here. And this looks really good, like even if he has blood on the snow, it doesn't really matter. Because our Lolth will grow huge and we get like 1,000. Yes, please. I mean, I can still sack these spiders for some cards, I guess. But we're gonna get so many cards here.
My power is for annihilation. I will.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Actually, no. I'd like another Necroduality, because why not? Oh, this is so much fun. Now, do we think he's gonna have another Blood on the Snow? I don't know, but doesn't really matter. I'm not playing the other Shambling Ghast. And your turn. Oh god, look at this. This is just so good. Man, I'm really happy with the addition of Aghanim's Awakening. Especially with Necroduality being an Enter the Battlefield effect and GG. Oh, this is so good.